Open your eyes for a second. Look at your hands. They look normal, right? 5 fingers, skin, nails. But here's the strange part. Nothing else on this planet looks like you. Not really. Every animal fits perfectly into Earth's system. Fish belong in water. Birds rule the sky. Lions dominate land. But you burn in sunlight. You suffer from back pain. You struggle to give birth. It's almost like you weren't designed for this place. And that raises a question most people are too uncomfortable to ask. What if we don't belong here at all? Let's start with something simple: the sun. Every living thing on Earth depends on it. Plants grow from it. Animals adapt to it. But you stand under it for too long, and your skin literally starts to burn. Not tan, burn. It turns red. It peels. It damages your DNA.
Think about that. The very star that gives life to this planet is slowly destroying you. No other species deals with this problem at this scale. Dogs don't need sunscreen. Elephants don't hide from UV rays. Even reptiles sit under direct sunlight for hours. But humans, we had to invent chemicals just to survive outside. Does that sound like a species perfectly evolved for Earth? Or one that's slightly out of place? Now look at your body, specifically your spine. Around 80% of humans will experience serious back pain at some point. That's not a small issue. That's a design flaw. Your spine was originally built for walking on 4 legs. Then evolution forced it upright, and now it struggles to carry your own weight. Compare that to animals like kangaroos or birds. They're built for their posture. No constant pain, no structural failure. But humans, we're like a system running on an unfinished update, functional but broken.
Now let's talk about something even more disturbing: childbirth. In most animals, birth is quick. A deer gives birth. The baby stands within minutes. A horse delivers. The foal walks within an hour. But humans? It's completely different. Human childbirth is one of the most dangerous biological processes in nature. For thousands of years, it was one of the leading causes of death. Why? Because human babies have massive brains, and those brains barely fit through the birth canal. It's called the obstetric dilemma. Evolution tried to make us smarter, but didn't redesign the body properly. So now we're stuck with a system that's both brilliant and dangerously flawed. And it doesn't stop there. Your immune system. It's supposed to protect you, but in millions of people, it attacks harmless things: pollen, dust, food, peanuts. Your own body treats them like threats. Why? Why would evolution create a defense system that randomly attacks the environment it evolved in? Unless it wasn't built for this environment in the first place. But here's where things get really strange. Not in your body, but in your mind. You are the only species on Earth that knows it's going to die. Think about that. A lion doesn't sit and wonder about death. A bird doesn't question its existence. But you lie awake at night thinking about the end. You create religions, philosophies, entire belief systems, all trying to answer one terrifying question: what happens after I'm gone? Why would evolution give you that? What survival advantage does existential fear provide? It doesn't help you hunt. It doesn't help you survive. If anything, it makes life harder, almost like it wasn't meant to be there. Now, zoom out. Look at humanity as a whole. Every species on Earth exists in balance. Predators hunt prey. Prey controls plant life. Nature stays in a loop. But humans? We don't balance ecosystems. We destroy them. We cut forests. We pollute oceans. We change the climate. We don't behave like part of Earth's system. We behave like something outside of it, like an invasive species, something that arrived and started taking over. Now here's where science gets uncomfortable. In 1973, a scientist named Francis Crick, one of the people who discovered DNA, proposed a wild idea. He called it directed panspermia, the theory that life on Earth didn't start here, that it was sent, planted by an advanced civilization somewhere else in the universe. Let that sink in. One of the greatest scientific minds in history looked at life and said, "This doesn't fully make sense." And the evidence? It's strange. Life appeared on Earth incredibly fast. The planet formed about 4.5 billion years ago, and within just 700 million years, life already existed. That's extremely quick in geological terms. Almost too quick. Then there are meteorites. In 1969, a rock fell from space in Australia. Inside it, scientists found amino acids, the building blocks of life. Not just a few, over 90 different types, some identical to the ones in your body, meaning the ingredients for life are floating through space.
And life itself? It's tougher than we thought. There are tiny organisms called tardigrades. They can survive extreme heat, freezing temperatures, even the vacuum of space. They don't just live on Earth. They can travel between worlds. So now the question changes. It's not, could life come from space? It's, what if it already did? But before you jump to conclusions, there's another explanation, and it's actually more grounded. It's called evolutionary mismatch. The idea is simple. You're not poorly designed, you're just outdated. Your body evolved for a world that doesn't exist anymore. Back pain? Because standing upright is relatively new. Sunburn? Because we lost body hair to stay cool. Childbirth issues? Because brains grew faster than bodies adapted. All of it has explanations, logical ones. But there's one thing that still doesn't fully add up: speed. No species in Earth's history has advanced like humans, not even close. Dolphins are intelligent. They've existed for 50 million years, but they've never built tools. Chimpanzees, they use sticks, but they haven't evolved beyond that in millions of years. Humans? We went from stone tools to space travel in a fraction of that time. From fire to the internet, from caves to artificial intelligence. 200 years ago, there were no cars. 100 years ago, no airplanes. 50 years ago, no internet. Now, we're building machines that think, that learn, that create. That kind of acceleration is unprecedented. It doesn't follow the normal pattern of evolution. It looks more like an explosion. So what caused it? Language? Cooking? Genetic mutations? Maybe. Probably a mix of all. But even then, the speed is hard to explain. So where does that leave us? Are we aliens? Probably not. There's strong evidence we evolved here. But are we perfectly adapted to Earth? Clearly not. Maybe the truth is somewhere in between. Maybe we are from Earth, but something changed. Something accelerated us. Something pushed us forward faster than anything else. Or maybe we're exactly what evolution creates when intelligence goes too far. A species that becomes aware, too aware. Because at the end of the day, whether we came from Earth or somewhere beyond it, one thing is certain. You are the strangest creature this planet has ever produced. A being that can question its own existence while standing on a rock floating through space. And maybe that's the real mystery. Not where you came from, but why you can even ask the question in the first place.